everyone. So today we are having the computer vision workshop with Aaron Bondman. Just to give you a bit about Aaron Bondman, I'm going to read his bio right now so you guys can know who is going to be engaging with you. So he's a mechatronics finalist at the University of Pretoria, specialized in computer vision, an entrepreneur, founder of the 123 Tutors, which I've already talked to you guys about a bit. Currently developing a smart machine AI system for tutors and students. That sounds interesting. And a Python enthusiast, passionate about all things coding. All right, so
Yeah.
today he's going to be taking us through the workshop. And Aaron, you have the
Okay, thanks,
platform.
David. So yeah, I just to mention a little bit of regarding like what you said with the AI system. So essentially, we're busy building a smart matching tutoring system. So matching a prospective student with the best qualified tutor in their area. So we have a whole model we're working on there. But today we're looking at computer vision. Okay, guys. So today's going to be quite quick because I know we all got things to do. And I'm literally just going to get straight into it. I don't have slides, unfortunately. All right. So I'm literally just going to start from the beginning. And we have two objectives today. All right. So imagine I came to you and I said, like if I came to you and I said, build a motion detector and build a human detector, right? So I was first exposed to computer vision last year, right? So this was the first time I was exposed. So my final year project was an autonomous paintball gun. So how that works is you have a camera, right? And then with the camera, like let me share my screen, and I could just quickly just show you my project that I did, just to give you a background about myself with human detection, computer vision, and just to show you like how cool the stuff actually is. Right. So let me just quickly fetch it because it's on my computer here. Let me just quickly get it. So yeah, so I'm just quickly getting my report for you guys, just so I can just give you a background on what I did, what my experience is, and then I can show you how cool computer vision is. Okay. So yeah, so as I said to you, last year was my first time being exposed to computer vision. And at first when I encountered it, because it was a new topic to me, because I came from a mechanical engineering background, right? I did do a lot of Python and coding on the side and built a lot of AI systems. So I built like a couple of AI systems, but I won't get into that today. So let's quickly, okay, let me present now. My screen, a window, okay, the entire screen. Okay. Okay, guys, so my screen is going to be shared in a couple of seconds. Just waiting for it to load, and then I'll just quickly just give you a background regarding like where I come from. And it sounds like you're busy with some robotics right now. I'm not busy with robotics, but last year my project was an introduction to robotics project. So a lot of the times in engineering, you don't get like interesting projects, right? And I'm sure a lot of you, those that come from an engineering background, like before I start, can I just get an idea of what is everyone studying here? Because I just want to get a feel, like, because only 8 of us. Can everyone just take a turn, an opportunity just to mention what they're studying, just so I can get an idea of like what audience I'm dealing with. So BCom informatics, mechanical engineering, comp eng, computer engineering. Could you also just state your year, because I just want to see like what level you are on, please. So okay, there's BSc honors. Okay, second year, awesome. Okay, first year, awesome. First year. Okay, so I see we got a couple of first years. Okay, third. Okay, be in second. Okay, cool, guys. So I can see that you are this is probably the first time you've like probably built some computer system, because okay, like in computer engineering, I didn't study computer engineering. A lot of my friends were computer engineers. They also did a lot of interesting projects, right? But I came from a mechanical engineering background. In mechanical engineering, we don't really care about the like the nitty-gritty. So if you're doing computer science, for example, you're doing computer engineering, you learn a lot of mathematics, a lot of mathematical models to build AI systems, right? But most of the technology already exists out there. So it's been built by PhD master students. And if you just want to build a quick, like just a very quick project, like something very quick, and you don't have any background in computer vision, right? Or any form of like you've never worked with computer vision before. So this was essentially like my model here. It doesn't look so great here, but what I built was an autonomous paintball gun, right? It's an autonomous paintball gun or an autonomous paintball sentry gun. So how that works, right? I'll just get right to the end, show you that, and then I can just quickly show you the model, right? So so everything I did last year, right? So okay, that was my project there. That was the model, the mechanical model. So this is basically the system, right? So before you want to build any system, or there's essentially, you have a hardware diagram and you have a software diagram, right? So, okay, so this was essentially the hardware diagram, as you see here. So there was this diagram here, and then there was this diagram here. So this was, yeah. So just to give you. Okay, now let's rather come here. I think this one's better. So to give you a background of the software. So what happens is you have a web camera, right? So we're interfacing hardware with software, right? And that's where the mechatronics side comes in. And yeah, but now so we have hardware and we have software. So the hardware in this case is the web camera, right? Or the camera using to get the video feed. And then with the video feed, we essentially from the video feed, from this thing here, from this web camera, you see here, we get a video feed, right? As when you open your phone, when you open any camera, there's going to be some like there's you see a picture, the computer sees digital data, right? So what happens is so you have your web camera, and then so you capture the video in your software, right? You capture the video in your software. So in the background there's basically a big matrix, big mathematical matrix. And then you use what's known as OpenCV. So has anyone here, have any of you heard of OpenCV before? Just yes, no, I'm just curious, even one or two could reply. Has anyone, okay, you've heard of OpenCV? Yeah, okay, no, no. So OpenCV, this was my first encounter. So as I said to you, I came from a mechanical engineering background. So I was mainly dealing with a lot of mechanical engineering. And this was my first time having to work with computer, like with computer vision. And in the beginning, it was quite daunting. And I thought in my mind, computer vision was very difficult until I discovered OpenCV, right? And OpenCV, so this is a library that exists in Python and C++. It's essentially it's a open vision or open computer vision. That's what it stands for. Library with different functions, which we're going to look at today, which allows you to manipulate data from the web camera. Or like in your video feed, and then it allows you to manipulate data. That's basically it. You manipulate data with OpenCV, then you process the video. So everything that happens after here, like with OpenCV is what allows you to get the hardware. So to take the web camera, like the data from the web camera, or the video capture, and then send it to video processing. That's what OpenCV is, like a bridge between that, right? So yeah, so there's a library like OpenCV. There's also other ones. There's TensorFlow, which I dealt with a bit last year, but the most, so generally with like if you want to build an AI project, like just off the shelf type of project, and you have a prototype that you want to build, I highly recommend you build it with Python and you build it with OpenCV. Because so last year I started building in C++ with OpenCV, and the compilation behind that, it was a nightmare. Like I spent 2 months just getting the system to work, and it was really frustrating. I know there's computer engineers here who work with Open, or who work with C++, even from first year, second year, third year. But when you want to build a model, from my experience, I highly recommend you use Python and then use OpenCV. But OpenCV, you can use, as I mentioned, you can use it with Python, you can use it with C++, right? So you build it in C++, you build it in Python, Then you move over, once it's working and everything's functional, optimized in Python, you then you build it in C++. And that's like, it's simple advice, but trust me, like guys, don't try and build a prototype in anything but Python. Okay, like when it comes to computer vision. I learned from my mistakes. Okay, so you have OpenCV as I mentioned, and then you have video processing, and then the goal is to okay, so this was just my project, just explaining to you my project and how the whole hardware and software worked. But there was this was the software diagram here. So this was the whole model behind it, like that I did. Generally, you would use, there's more complicated diagrams that you would use. So there's this, like just to let you know, there's this thing called Oomlet. For those of you that don't know, all right, and in Oomlet, I only discovered it this year. I would have built this in that. So Oomlet, it allows you to build models. So if you want to solve any problem, right? So say now we want to build a motion detector, right? All new. Okay. So Oomlet, what Oomlet allows you to do is you can just literally drag and drop components. So let's quickly start a new. Okay. Anyway, new versions. Anyway, so let's see now. So you just okay. Then you just drag and drop that thing here. So this is a simple system. So you got different types of things you can use, right? So you can use this. You can say this is how the person using the system, right? So now we want to build a motion detector, right? So Oomlet is an amazing free software that I highly recommend you to download to essentially create. Wait, where were we? We were here. Okay, so Oomlet, you can essentially create this, right? So you can put your person and how they see it and all of this. It's really easy. You literally just drag and drop things. Like you just drag and drop. So this would be so this would be our sorry. It's not editing. I think it's not. Sorry guys, it's not editing. Give me 1 second. I think it's not editing. Right? Simple class. We create a class there. Anyway. Damn, what the hell? Okay, but generally, okay, so you're gonna create your model here, right? And you see that we have arrows as well that we can use. So highly, oh no, go away. Sorry, go away. Yeah, so you can use arrows. The thing is not moving. Leave it for now. But the main thing is that you can use this diagram because, as I said to you, like this is just a really quick crash course, right? So you can use Oomlet to create diagrams and so forth. So if you tinker around with it, you'll get a feeling for it, right? So now this was essentially the system and how it worked. And essentially we'll be building something similar today. So we start with our web camera, right? So we have a video feed. Then, okay, so video feed, and then you have essentially you have OpenCV, right? You have OpenCV. You process the video. From the video, so you got motion and human detection. So these are two separate systems, right? And then from here, so from my system, because I built an autonomous paintball gun last year, right? And there was also a hardware side of things. And on the hardware side of things, you had to locate the person's coordinates, the human centroid, right? And then with the human centroid, then it's easier to track the human or the object, and then essentially shoot the person, yeah, the target. Okay, so we have our web camera, we have that, we have okay. So this is basically the system, right? So let's start with the web camera, right? Because this is, as I said to you, this is an introductory workshop. So we're not optimizing, we're just creating a basic system just so you can start tinkering around and you can start building some cool computer vision systems, and you can actually see how, like you can see existing code that exists, or you can see open source code that is available for you to use and implement. And the thing is, like when you look at the code first, it's quite daunting, but once you make sense of it, it's quite easy, and that's what I'm going to be explaining. Okay, so let's get into the Python stuff. Okay, So, okay, so this is pretty much like we're starting off with a blank slate, right? And so we have two missions today. So we want to build a motion detector, right? We want to build a motion detector. That is our first objective. And then as a bonus, you want to build a human detector, right? And you want to and you want it to be accurate, right? If it sees a human, we want it to detect the human, right? Okay, so that's pretty much our two objectives here today. So as I mentioned to you, what we're going to be using for this is we're using OpenCV, right? And if we Google OpenCV from like you can Google it, right? So you can just see OpenCV, right? OpenCV is all here. So OpenCV is yeah. So so as you see here, it's an open source computer vision library. It's essentially like the standard. It's like one of the largest libraries of computer vision functions or like methods or classes you can use to create computer vision models, right? So there's different versions. So right now I see this OpenCV 4.1, right? So if we go now, because when I did my project last year, I believe I used 3.47, right? So I use 3.47 because of the support. So generally, what I recommend you do is when you start with these, like when you want to use these open source libraries and stuff, don't use the oldest one. But never use the newest one unless you want to build like some state of the art thing, because it does come with like more functions and stuff like that, and you're quite an enthusiast and you're very into it, right? But starting out, I highly recommend you you go for like the older versions, and the reason being is because there's more support. So if you're stuck and you Google something, there's going to be a solution, right? Whereas with this one, there's fewer people that have used it, so there's going to be less support, and that's pretty much why you want to go for the older one, because you'll find that when you're developing any like when you're coding, it's literally just Google. Like Google is your best friend, right? Google and Stack Overflow, and there's other amazing websites that you can look into, which we will we'll get into that. So yeah, so essentially our aim, right? So our aim, just to give you, so if you go to OpenCV, let me rather Google it, because this is Yahoo. I think Google will give better results. So let me put this here, and then let us OpenCV. OpenCV. Right, so we have OpenCV. Right. So now if you want to install OpenCV, right? So there's all these different websites for OpenCV, but what I highly recommend is like generally with if you want to know your functions, you just go to OpenCV website, right? Just wait for it. It's going to load. Let it load. Yeah. So okay. So let that load. I think will load. Okay. So let's sorry guys, I just want to have my code open here. All right. So ultimately, what we want to do is what you get from your, sorry, this is my other work. What you get from this, like when you're building a computer vision system, right? So there's two. Okay. So firstly, for motion detection. Right, so this is essentially what you get. This is what you get out of it. This is what the thing produces. This is our goal. So we want to get something that looks like this. So you have a detector, right? So you have a detector here. And then, so that's me, as you can see, and I was testing the project out. And then it detects all the areas where there's motion, right? And then it also allocates the centroid. Okay. So how we, let's quickly see here. So how we do that, right? So if you look at your web camera, as I mentioned, you have your web camera and your video feed and all of that. So what I did last year, I used my cell phone for my web camera, right? And there's quite a neat, let's just see, there's quite a neat like solution for it. It's called DroidCam, right? So there's DroidCam, right? So you got DroidCam, And then you literally just go to DroidCam's website. So you need two things. You need the software on your computer. So here's DroidCam. Right, I already have it installed. I mean, we all have an engineering background, so we should be able to install these things. It's actually really easy. When I started my project, like the whole computer vision thing, I thought it was going to be it was quite daunting. I didn't know what to do. I didn't have any background in computer vision, OpenCV, and yeah, like at first I thought it was going to be very hard, right? And I imagine a lot of you have the same mindset towards it. And then, okay, so I needed a web camera, and then for those of you that use Apple, I'm not too sure whether DroidCam is supported on Apple. Just quickly check if you use an Apple device, but get an Android device because there's developer options. It's really good, right? So yeah, so DroidCam wireless, yeah, it looks like it is on the App Store for you guys, right? And the functionality is going to be exactly the same. So DroidCam, I just wanted to, let's see if I can open this and you can just take a look at the app. It's not loading. Give me an opportunity there. Okay, so OpenCV, right? If you also want to, there's also courses here that you can do. So Computer Vision 1. I didn't do these courses. I was just like, okay, my goal is to build a human emotion detector. I'm going to go figure out how to do it, right? And I watch a lot of YouTube videos. So this is DroidCam, as you see here. Right? There's a lot of videos on YouTube how to install DroidCam, like if you're not sure. But it's actually very, very simple to install DroidCam. Very, very, very simple to install DroidCam. Okay, so I'm just going to grab my USB quickly, just so you can see how it all works. Right, and you can actually see how this integrates with your phone and what the end goal is going to be like. Okay, so let me just get my USB quickly. Okay, what's this? Okay, I'm just quickly grabbing my USB. Okay, so yeah, let's plug the phone in here. Okay, so I've plugged my phone in. Okay, so what you do is you connect your phone to the laptop, obviously, right? You connect it to the phone, and then you need to install an app called DroidCam. So you go to your App Store, Apple Play Store, any one of those, and you just install it, right? And then once it's installed, right? When it's installed, so you install it on your phone, and then you install it on your computer. So where's DroidCam? Oh, there it is. I have it here. So there's DroidCam. So I have DroidCam here, and you're gonna do the USB connection. So just I'll send you a link to the on how to install DroidCam, right? But it's abundantly available on YouTube for this. I mean, it's all there. I feel like you just go in how to install DroidCam and you'll see. But once it's installed and all of that, right? This is what you're gonna get. Like you get this, it's installed. You just have to make sure that your phone is in developer mode, developer options mode. So how you do that is for Android devices, right? You go to settings, like there's a thing here. So how to let's see. So how to anyway, so how to connect the phone, right? To or how to let's say like rather how to do how to set developer options, how to put phone in developer mode or set developer options, how to put phone. There's steps to follow in developer mode because it has to your device has to be in developer mode. You can't default is not in developer mode. So what developer mode is, it's essentially like all the security and stuff that restricts the phone, like from like external software and external programs accessing your phone, right? And you put in developer mode and you allow it to interface, then it won't block it. So it will detect the phone. So how to access developer options in Android? Yeah, you just literally just follow these steps. I did these steps. I mean, it's you just follow the steps, you get it in developer options. But once it's in developer options, right, you open the DroidCam app on your phone. So you open the app on your phone, and then you open the app on your phone, all right, you're going to, because unfortunately I can't share my phone screen with you guys. So can I? Wait, I think I had a thing for that, so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, wait, give me a second. So I think I had a thing. Let me just see if this will work. See if I can connect with Visor, and then you can actually see my phone screen. Let's see. Okay. Okay, Visor. It's fine. It's fine. Basically, it's a no-brainer, right? So when you click on the app, let's see, because the Visor thing is not working. When you click on, so we go into DroidCam. So you go to DroidCam, right? When you go to DroidCam, you'll see, like on your phone, but you need to be connected via USB before you open DroidCam, right? Then you open it here, right? And then you click, literally once it's configured, it does all the configuration. It's very quick and easy. And then you say start, right? So we say start, let it start quickly. And then let's see if we get a video. Okay, so you can see, can I switch cameras? Can I switch? Okay, but you can see me, right? So everyone can see me. So this is pretty much how you connect your phone with with DroidCam. Okay, so you can all see me, right? So that's pretty much the first step to like doing computer vision, right? Okay, so we've got that. Now, just for now, I'm going to stop it, and then I'm going to explain to you how the whole OpenCV thing works. Okay, so we finish with that for now. Okay, so we've done the first thing, connecting the connecting the camera to your computer. So computer vision requires it requires a lot of processing. So you need to make sure you have at least an i3 and above, right? If you got less than an i3 Intel or less than 2 gigahertz, right? If you're less than 2 gigahertz clock speed, that's going to be problems for you. It's going to be very slow. And Python is already very slow, by the way. Like Python is just, as I said, for models. Your final product shouldn't be in Python. Like if you want speed, you do it in C++. But C++, as I mentioned, takes very long to build, and there's a lot of compilation, and it's just a nightmare, and it's so annoying. And I'll be honest. The best is just Python. So let's open Python. Okay, so here we are. So this is our AISS workshop, right? So for those of you that are seeing this simulator and like seeing Python, because I know like first year computer engineers, possibly computer science, I'm not too sure. You probably haven't worked with Python yet, right? So in engineering, we actively work with it. And as I said to you, it's my #1 go-to language. But what I'm using here is known as Jupyter Notebook. So to install Jupyter Notebook, I highly recommend Jupyter. At first, I was quite reluctant with it, but it's amazing. Like it's really, really good. Okay, so to install this program you see here. So the first part is you need. So let's list the steps because you guys should be taking notes. As I said, this is a workshop. So step 1, right? So okay, so this is setting up camera, right? Setting up camera, as I mentioned to you. So the first thing we're going to do is setting up our camera, right? We can use a mobile device. Right? That is our first thing. We can use a mobile device. Let me zoom in. Right? So this can essentially call it step 1. First thing, setting up our camera. So we can use a mobile device, such a webcam. It doesn't really matter. A webcam's great because you pre-install it and it works. But obviously, we all have phones, and if you don't have a web camera, I think the best option is a phone. I went for a phone, and it worked really well, right? So mobile device, it must be a smartphone. But all devices are pretty much smartphones today. So then, okay, so that's pretty much setting up camera. So you need a mobile device. Then what you need to do is you need to install DroidCam. So install DroidCam. You install DroidCam. And that is our first thing is we install DroidCam, right? So that is our first thing. So we install DroidCam from Play Store, on Play slash the App Store, right? Install DroidCam on your phone, right? And then the thing is, the next step is install this DroidCam software on your computer. DroidCam software on your computer, and you download it. You just type DroidCam in Google, and it will come up when you need it. So DroidCam, right? So DroidCam dev 47 ops, you go here. And then everything is here. They say, okay, well, they talk about the Play Store. Use your phone as a web, okay, on your PC. Okay, it's not here. Yeah, so say install. Just because this is Yahoo. Yahoo's trash. I don't know why I have Yahoo. Install DroidCam. Computer. We're literally building this from scratch, right? Like as you would be doing it. This is the process. You're gonna go on Google. Yeah, DroidCam software. Let's see if we can find the root file. Right. DroidCam, because I did all of this last year. So yeah, I think I got it from Softonic or got it from Softonic if I remember. Yeah, I just installed it from Softonic. You click free download, it's going to download, and then you pretty much you install it. It's very quick. Okay, DroidCam. I think, yeah, if I recall, I got it from Softonic, now that I remember. So, yes, okay, so let's go back to our code. Where's our code? Okay. So mobile device, webcam, install DroidCam on your phone. Okay, install DroidCam. So we're going to use Softonic, right? Okay, so that's pretty much that, right? And then in the next step, so this is pretty much, you can say that this is you can say like this is, let's call this 2.1 or step 1.1. So this is DroidCam. So this is what you do for DroidCam. So you get DroidCam installed. Then the next one is 1.2. So to install phone, say phone plus DroidCam. And the next step, what we need to do is you need to put, well, I guess this kind of falls in line here. So install DroidCam, put phone, I guess as a step, put phone in developer mode. You have to. Developer mode, right? Connect phone to computer. They call it computer vision. Connect phone to computer. Right, so you connect it to the computer, and yeah, so you connect phone to computer like by USB. It works best with USB. I tried doing the wireless thing last year. It didn't really work. USB works best. And then yeah, just open DroidCam. Yeah, open DroidCam on PC as I did. So on your phone, you don't have to open it. It doesn't matter. Like it's just there in the background. So open and yeah, so open DroidCam on PC, and then yeah, so yeah, open DroidCam on PC, and then yeah, then just say start. Then click start, and it should connect. I'll be honest, I had some issues last year connecting it initially. If any of you problems, just let me know. I can help you out. There's different causes to it. Sometimes it's your phone, sometimes your computer, sometimes it's Windows. I don't even remember exactly what my problem was last year. I remember I solved it, but if you just let me know, I know a couple of the problems and solutions to DroidCam. So yeah, so open DroidCam, but generally 9 times out of 10 it would just work. So open DroidCam on PC and click start, right? And just click start, and then click start, right? And then yeah, a video pop-up will appear. Easy as that. So video pop-up will appear. Now this implies once you see this, it means success. We finished with the first part is getting the camera. Success, you have the webcam, right? You have your webcam. You have your webcam. Okay, so this is web. So you have your web camera. Okay, awesome. Okay, then the next step is to install Python, or install, well, you want to install Python, but you want to install Jupyter Notebook. So Jupyter Notebook is the thing I'm using now. For those of you that are not using it, I really suggest it. Jupyter Notebook. And the reason why it's great, unlike, because it's not like traditional. So if you look at traditional IDEs, right? So this is, I'll just show you some of my code that I'm working on. So if you look at so this is, yeah, so this, yeah, so if you look at, wait, is this thing gonna load? Yeah, so if you look at like traditional code, right? If you look at, no, not this. Yeah, so if you look at like IDEs, right? Like you build code in there, and then you get a result. Like this is web development, so you only see the results on the server. But with Python, it's great. I can literally say, I can just be like, okay, let b equal to 5, very easy. I can say let a equal to 3, and I can say print a plus b, right? And then I run it, and then I get 8. So it gives you an instant result. Then I can come here and do something else. I can say b plus, I can say b is equal to 4, c is equal to 6, right? And I can say print b plus c. So today's workshop, I'm not gonna like giving you Python lessons, right? And you're gonna see the code today. It's not gonna be the most easy code. I'm gonna be honest. Like you do need to have some experience with Python, but you're just gonna ignore the code and just look at the functions, and that's all that matters. But we're gonna get there. Okay, so yeah, but now what's nice about it is you can see a result here, you can see a result here, right? So yeah, okay, so that's why I recommend, like, just the fact that you can have different sections of code. It's really good. Okay, and if you have any questions, please do ask me. Okay, so install. So we're looking at that step. Install Jupyter Notebook. So we install Jupyter Notebook. To install Jupyter Notebook, right? So install Jupyter Notebook, and then so put phone in. Okay, so install Jupyter Notebook. To install Jupyter Notebook, you want to download Anaconda. Right, download Anaconda. Right. So Anaconda Navigator looks like this. It's this thing you see here. This is Anaconda Navigator. So it comes with a lot of different IDEs. There's Jupyter Notebook, as you see. Right. If you guys also want to build in Python, I also recommend you get VS Code. It's really good. Like you can build cool Python. Like it's great for coding. This is the IDE I was using here. It's really, really good. I don't have Python things open here, or Python scripts, but it's good. Like it's a great IDE. But when you want to build models, Jupyter Notebook's also really good. Okay. So yeah. So let's get into it. So so we want to install Jupyter Notebook, right? So you download Anaconda Navigator. That's what you need. And what Jupyter Notebook is, it's essentially Python. That's what you're downloading. So Python is a very high-level programming language. For those of you that are quite into coding, it's built on top of like C++, and it's essentially built on top of C++. Like it's a very, very high-level language, Python. And with Python, there's still version 2.7 or version 2, but for what we're going to be using 3.7. So I'm using Python 3.7, right? If we go look now at Python, we can quickly see. So if we go to Python latest version, Python latest version, we come to download Python. As far as I'm aware, as far as I recall, because I installed Python 4 years ago, right? And I just updated regularly. So this one is on, so this is a 3.8, right? So before you install Jupyter Notebook, you need to download Python, right? So actually download Python first from the Python website. download Python, download Python, download Python. Okay, download Python from the Python website. The Python website. Just as I said, just type it in Google. So download Python from Python website. Download Anaconda. Okay, so you download it because you need to have your Python shell. So Python, if I've done this for a while, but you have your Python command line, right? So if I run as administrator, let it run. Where's it at? Run. Administrator not working. Command line, yeah, there's the command line. Okay, so this is Python. At its raw foundation, this is Python. It's in the backend, right? But this is really basic. I can say 5 plus 3 equals to 8. So you know your Python is working when you see, like when you see your command line. So when you type Python, which did again for you, when you type Python and you see command line, you know it's installed. Okay. So then, yeah, let's get back to it. So we install Jupyter Notebook, Python 3.7. You download Python from Python website. Once that's done, then download Anaconda Navigator. So Anaconda Navigator, right, Anaconda Navigator. Yeah, so Anaconda Navigator is, yeah, you can just download it here. All right. So yeah, so Anaconda Navigator, you just go to, okay, Win64, there's Win64. You can just type this, okay, well, this is Conda run. Let's see, I'll explain to you what all of these are, the Conda run and stuff for those of you that don't know. I guess we don't do that. I think what we can do is you just say download Navigator, it's a Navigator, Anaconda Navigator. You can even just Anaconda Navigator, download Anaconda Navigator. All right, so Anaconda Navigator. I even forgot. I'll be honest, guys. I haven't done this for so long. When it comes to installing, I think what was it? Files. You click on files. Let's see. So it's not. Leave the files alone. Downloading Anaconda Navigator. Right. To install, I think what you do is, what you can do is as well, no, it's download Anaconda Navigator, because you need to have it pre-installed already, like Anaconda Navigator, how to download, installation. What's this? Is it this one? Yeah, you just go to Softonic. It's probably going to be the one. Yeah, this one. Just go to Softonic. They have everything. So you click download, just follow the prompts and it will work out. But okay, I don't want to download this thing. It can go away. I don't need that. All right, so Anaconda, as I mentioned to you, it looks like this. When it's installed, you're going to have automatic access to Jupyter. So what Jupyter is when you launch it, it opens in your browser. So I guess you can get this from Softonic. So because I did NPR 213, right? And there when we did like navigate and stuff, they gave us an install function. So I think you can also, another way you can do it is install Anaconda Navigator via the command line. So install Anaconda Navigator via let's see, install Anaconda Navigator via command prompt. You can also check that out, and you just need to get the function for it. Right? So install, open Anaconda prompt, how to uninstall. So there's so with your command line, right, or your command prompt, just open up this thing. Let's see, make sure you run it as administrator. It's gonna run. I don't know why my things aren't opening. I'll need to resolve that. I guess you generally have to open as administrator. I don't know why mine's not. And then you're going to put you need to get the install file for it here. But as I said to you, like, you just need to get the command line. So for the computer science guys that like using command prompt, you can just find it online. Like, you guys are tech savvy, you can find that, right? So, but for that, you can say Softonic has it pre-installed, quick and easy, right? So then when that's done, right? We have that. We've got our Jupyter Notebook, Python 3, or now if you do it, it will be Python 3.8, but I'm using Python 3.7. Then the next thing, what you're going to do, the next thing now is you start with OpenCV, right? You want to install OpenCV. So where we get the file, like, so once Anaconda is downloaded, right? When you've downloaded Anaconda, and this is why you need an Anaconda to install OpenCV, right? So install OpenCV in Python, OpenCV in Python, right? So that's pretty much our next step. How do we go about installing OpenCV in Python? So what we do is we, as I like to say, just Google it, right? They say every developer's friend is Google. Like 80% of work comes from, like, all solutions are from Google, right? You just need to find the right thing. So we go to OpenCV. You just say install OpenCV Python 3.7, for example. Install open, or you can even say command prompt or Anaconda. Install, it's going to be easier to say this. Install OpenCV in Anaconda, because you need to get that command line. And once you have the command line, it's very easy. Install Anaconda. Install OpenCV and Anaconda. Yeah. All right, and then you know the problem is, yeah, guys. You know what's giving me really bad search results? It's Yahoo. So I'd rather go here, and then get the command line from Anaconda.org. So you must go to Anaconda.org. So this next step is go to Anaconda.org. Wait, where's this thing? Where's the code? There, guys. So you want to go to. So the next step is go to Anaconda.org. Anaconda.org. .org website, and you can also, I'll tell you, just Google and get the command install line, or whatever you want to call it. Command install statement or line. It's not a statement. OpenCV. Right. So OpenCV. So now that's what we've done. So we go to, as you see here, here it is. Right. And then it's actually at this point very, very easy. So let's wait for it to load, and then all you do is, so there's different ones, right? There's different types of OpenCV is a very broad library. There's a lot of different sub-libraries of OpenCV, but as I said to you, today's an introduction to computer vision and OpenCV. So you just install the first one, very easy. Just install. I'll even command. Remember, I'm going to send you guys the code after this, so you'll have all the steps that you can follow, and you can only read it in Jupyter Notebook. So it means you must download Jupyter Notebook. Conda. So there's a statement there. All right, there's our statement. Conda install CForge OpenCV. So what you do is you just copy this thing, right? Or you go to the website. There's a website. You just copy the thing, and then you go to Anaconda prompt. So you go to Anaconda prompt, and then you go to, you say run, okay, no, Anaconda prompt, do this, and then you just plug that statement in here. When you plug it, you just press enter. Did you wait? Obviously, I already have it installed, so it'll probably give some error. But let's wait. No, not going to work because I didn't run as administrator. So that's a common mistake that can happen. So Anaconda prompt. I don't know why my administrator is not working. Like, I haven't used the command lines for a while, so I didn't know. I'm only aware of it now. So Anaconda prompt. And prompt. I don't know why isn't my run as administrator not working? So generally, when you right click, on the Anaconda, like, you just search for it, comes up, and then let's just go to the file location. That'll probably be easier. And then let's say go to another, because this is the shortcut. So don't go to the shortcut, go to where the real file is. Where's the real file? CMD. Yeah, leave it, it's fine. Okay, let's see if this works. Will this work? Run as administrator. Hope so. Generally, it just works when you search for it, but let's see if that's going to work. Run as administrator. I think I already got it open. Yeah, there. So how you know it works? No, that's command prompt. Let's try again. Run as administrator. Where's administrator? Nothing. But generally, yours should work. So Anaconda. Maybe it's open. Oh, I can't open it because the shell's open. I apologize. I didn't realize. Okay, so we already technically had a command line open. So if you want to open the Anaconda line, let's try again now. There we go. We got it. Yeah. So basically what you can learn from it, right, is you can't have multiple command lines. Like you need to close your command lines. Right, so let's try that again. Anaconda and prompt. And then we run as administrator. It's there now. Is it going to come up? Where's it at? I don't know where it is. Honestly, you generally will run. I don't know why. Like, I honestly don't. But just follow the process. Run as administrator. Paste the function from here. Right. Paste the function in there. And then run it, right? I don't think mine's going to work because it's not administrator. Not going to work. But if you click enter and you run it, something will load. There'll be like a line and it will load. Okay. Oh, there, it's actually working. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, there, it's working. Lol. I'm so used to running as administrator. So now, okay, so you need to wait for it. So it's now collecting the package data. So what you've done is, so we got this from the website. We got OpenCV from this website, and then you just you plugged it in the command prompt, and then you just wait. But I think mine won't load because I already have it installed. Right, so I'm just going to close it. But what will happen is a bunch of files will load because it fetches the OpenCV files like somewhere on the internet, fetches them, and then eventually it will ask, do you want to install yes or no? It will just say yes or no, Y or N, and you click Y, and then it will install it, right? Okay. So we've done that. Let's see. Okay, guys, so I hope we're all following. All right, so just still the introduction. I mean, it's essential. Okay, so we do that, and then check that it's working. So, okay, we've installed OpenCV, and then check that OpenCV is working. Check OpenCV is working. Check OpenCV is working. OpenCV is working. So it should be working at that point. It's going to work, right? So check is open Jupyter Notebook. So let me do this from the beginning, just so you know, like everything. For those of you that are new, fresh here, okay. So so this is still open. AISS is open here. Okay, so what you'll do is to open Jupyter Notebook, right? As I said, you'll go here. You'll click launch. You'll get this thing here. You see here, or it will open up. It will generally open up at your documents, right? It opens up at your documents. But then you just need to find an appropriate place where you want to add files. Like you just find a specific folder because this is your C drive. So it opens up in your C drive, right? So your hard drive or your SSD drive. And then what you do is to create a new notebook, you go to Python 3. And then you go there, and then you can name it. So you can say AISS, name it motion detector, right? So a motion detector. Let's say computer vision motion detector. Motion detector, right? And what's cool about like stuff like this, it's got a lot of practical applications. Like think about it, you could build a security system for your house, right? Like as a hobbyist, you could just buy some cheap phone, put it outside, get like an adapter like for the wall plug, like to the charger, and then put a camera outside or something, and then at night like you can code it to activate at a specific time, and then it can check for motion. So at night, if someone's outside moving, right? But the problem with that is if trees are moving and birds, that is a problem. Yeah, like practical applications of motion detection. Like motion detection is like a subset of computer vision. So it's like the first part of you can build a motion detector if you want. I built a motion detector, and the reason why I'm giving you guys a motion detector, right, is because part of my project, like, so I needed to detect humans, right? And to detect a human, you want to optimize your code or your logic. And to do that, like human detection, the neural net we're going to use, or the pre-trained library. So there's basically a code that for the motion detection that calls in the like pre-trained neural net, or the pre-trained like basically a bunch of data. That's all it is. And then you send the data in, and then from that frame it detects the human, right? But the problem with that is this is very, like, computation-wise, it's extremely expensive, right? If you want to detect an object, if an object enters the frame, it means it's moving, right? So the first thing you want to do to detect it, you want to detect its motion. So that's pretty much why we go for motion, right? So before we can do human detection, we must first see, oh, there's a moving object. Because else what's going to happen is this thing is going to run all the time, and it's going to consume power, the human detector, because it's extremely computationally expensive. Like, it consumes a lot of computational resources, right? So, and the reason for that is also because of the video processing, because the video processing runs and then it has to work with the human detection. So you start with the motion detector. Once that's working, when you see motion, then run the human detector. That's pretty much how my logic was when I did my project last year, right? So yeah, but now, so the motion detector. So the first thing we do is you're going to import, wait, give me one opportunity here. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to import CV2. So CV2, that's pretty much the import CV2, right? So that's our first part. And you see, I don't get any errors. If I import something else, so I imported the library. I import like CV3. Let's see if I get an error. It's like no module name CV3, but CV2 is good. It skipped it. CV3 doesn't know because there's no module. But CV2, so this is our we're importing OpenCV. So importing OpenCV. And the worst nightmares are these errors you get. Like, they're so frustrating. But in Python, it's very quick and easy to do this. Like, literally, as the steps we suggested here, you install OpenCV. And then to check that it's working, open Jupyter Notebook. Excuse me. Notebook. Open Jupyter Notebook. From Jupyter Notebook, it's a notebook, and then just say import CV2. And there we go. Now, if it works, just write a logic here. If it works, you get no error. If no error, it's installed successfully. Right. If there is an error, if you got an error, you got a problem, it's not installed, and you need to delete it. Right. You need to go find a solution on YouTube. There's a lot of good resources on YouTube, right? But OpenCV, maybe now it's changed, but last year with installation and stuff, like, there's solutions, but general OpenCV and coding, like, is actually quite scarce. I had quite a struggle last year. It was on YouTube, but on the internet itself, like Stack Overflow and all of that, that was really good. And the tutorials are really poor on YouTube. They're really bad with OpenCV. The guy's like, yeah, I'm going to do this, and then he skips steps. You don't know what's going on, right? But if you got an error, you've got a problem. It means it's not installed. If you got an error, it's not installed. It's not installed. Not installed. Right? Not installed. Go watch Indian guy on YouTube. If anyone's Indian here, guys are legends. I'm not trying to. Go watch YouTube video. Like, oh, actually, but I'm just saying, like, the Indian guys on YouTube are really good, right? Okay, cool. So that's that. So go watch video on YouTube / Stack Overflow. Stack Overflow. Yeah. Okay, so but now we're gonna assume it's working. So it's working. We got it working. So what on earth do we do now? Like, how are we going to get the video feed from our camera? How are we gonna get the video feed from our camera into Python? Because that's pretty much what we want to see, right? We want to manipulate it. So in C++, it's a long process. Well, C++ to install OpenCV is an extremely long process, and it involves like a lot of compilation. In Python, it's very fast. Like, it'll take you like 5 minutes, 2 minutes. Okay. So we want to now so we imported OpenCV because I actually want to list all the steps for you guys. Right. So so we've done that. Installed OpenCV in Python. Everything is working. Okay. Step 1.4. Let's call it 1.4. Well, this was we can say like step 1 is setting up. Well, let's say this is just the installation process. Let's say installation. Let's call this installation. And now we move on to step 2. Right now, step 2 is say like import or open video feed in Python. Open video feed from open video feed in Python. Right. So step 1 is your video feed. So open video feed in Python / Jupyter Notebook. Jupyter Notebook. Right. Okay, so this is supposed to be step 2. That's pretty much our aim now. Okay, we just want to open up. So I'm literally breaking it up, making it as quick and easy, and eventually we're going to have a motion detector. Right. And just to give you an example of what all of this is going to do and what it looks like, right, and how they're going to work together, it's actually really, really cool. Where is, wait, let me just quickly show you. So I have some other code that I can quickly run, and I can just demonstrate to you, because now this is the cool process. We've done the installation. That was important. I want to show you guys so this is, the code is long. We're going to break it up for you, but this has a lot more other stuff to the code, right? But the main thing is, yeah, so I just want to run the overall code for you. So this was autonomous paintball gun code. Let me open up, let me get them being involved in Vice, you guys. So 6th year, let's see, 2nd semester, MRN, okay. Wait, let me just move to this side. Stuff, okay, let me get my code, and then I can show you how the human detect, it's super cool. When you see it, like, it changes lives. First time I saw it, because you work very hard to get it, and when it works, you're like, wow, this is amazing. Human detection, yeah, this one. Okay, so this is the code here, right? You see the code. Yeah, so so this is pretty much the human detection code or human detection algorithm, but the first part of it is motion detection. So yeah, so this is pretty much my algorithm. And trust me, this thing is optimized to the T. Like, the strategies I've used to optimize this solution is it's amazing, right? So you see here, we import CV, right? But let me just demonstrate, because you're probably a bit confused by all the code. So let's demonstrate it to you. So I'm quickly just going to open up my DroidCam and connect it, and then you can see what we're going to be doing, like what the aim is. Okay, so like, the problem is, once you close it, you need to take out the USB on your phone, and then you need to put it back in. Generally, what I find, and the thing is, this needs to be closed before you connect with the USB. So DroidCam, There's DroidCam, right? And then you insert your USB into the phone. It must always be in developer options. Remember, your phone must always be in developer options. Okay, I'm just waiting for it to say allow, unless it's not going to ask that. It's not going to ask that. Let's see if it works. So you first connected here. Okay, gave an error. You see connection lost. So let's try again quickly. Let's unplug it out of the phone, plug it back, USB in. Okay, see that it works. So you see it detects my phone. Okay, Samsung Galaxy. Okay, where's DroidCam at? Because you see, you guys saw that was working. I really want to show you how cool this is. So DroidCam. Let me just open up on my phone just so that it's there. So also open it up on your. Okay, let's see if it works. There we go. Okay, it's working. Okay, so you guys can see me, right? Okay, cool. So my code, or the human detection code, right? If I run it, see if everything's there. All the code. It's long. Don't worry. Like, it's actually very simple. Like, I'll explain it all to you. You're gonna see it's all simple. Don't worry about all the this. So the problem is I hadn't installed. I haven't run. Okay, well, let's see. Human detection algorithm. This frame. Object has no. It was working earlier. Why? Frame 1. So the problem is you get these errors, and dealing with these errors can be tedious at times. Let's see quickly. All the code, the motion detection. Let's see. I don't know what's up with this. Let's see. So it's saying frame 1, rescale frame, non-type object has what error is this, guys? You get these errors and it's so frustrating. Because I basically rescaled the frame to optimize it. This is my code. I mean, I was literally using this thing like today. Like, what the heck is this? Non-type object has no attribute shape. Let's see a shape here. This is on line 22. So it tells you where the error, okay, it tells you there, right? 148. And then it tells you that it's on line, essentially line 22. So as a hack, to get the lines, just click on side the box and when it's blue, and then click L, right? You click L on your keyboard and then you see the line. So 22. Let's see. I don't know why this thing's failing me. I was using this thing. Like, what's up with this? Let's quickly look at the code overall. Probably looks a bit hectic to you guys. You're like, what's going on here? But I don't understand why it was working perfectly. See, like, this is one of those things when you're going to show something. Let's quickly see. So we got you got error, shape function, rescale shape, width. You know what? I'm just going to get rid of that frame. You know what? That doesn't matter to me. We can just block that code out. We can just block this out. And then, I don't know why, because this is so shape is a function from OpenCV, right? So what you do is you can redefine like the bounding box size, but it's fine for now. Let's just get rid of this code. Just hashtag it out. It's giving an error. I don't know why. Okay, let's just block this code up. All this. Okay, so there we go. Right, so we hashtag that out, and then I just need to update it. Search for that function. Let's see, what was that function? It was, where was that function? Okay, so where was that function? That is blocked out. So yeah, rescale frame. So this was just, I rescaled the frame so that it can run faster. Because I said to you, Python is quite slow, and I have quite a good laptop. So I've got a 4.0 gigahertz processor and a 1050 GPU, right, a GTX. And yeah, I generally just use a CPU for this, but you can also move your code over to your graphics processor, and obviously then it's going to be light speed. But with Python, I'm not too sure whether you can use your graphics processor for that. Generally, it's called CUDA, like CUDA implementation, and that's with C++, right? So that's where the C++ comes in. But as I said, you're just building a basic model in here. So let me just Control F that function, and then I'll just quickly delete it so that nothing changes, right? So frame 1, just delete this thing, because I just basically rescaled frames. That's all I did. Hopefully this will work. Okay, hopefully this works, because I rescaled frames. I remember getting this error last year, but you know what, guys? Code. I'll need to look into it. We're in a workshop now. So let's just get rid of that thing for now. Okay, okay, delete that. Wait, let me just hashtag the code out rather. Hashtag delete some code. Yeah, let's hashtag it and delete the code. So this only, as I mentioned, just serves the purpose of making it run faster, which you don't actually really need now. Okay, rescale frame. What else is there? Okay, hashtagged, anything else? Okay, just an error, right? Okay, so hopefully it runs now. Run type object. Wait, why does it do this, guys? Like, I literally ran it today, and that's the height width frame 1 dot shape. I'm just thinking why. Wait, let me just open up my Jupyter Notebook again, because these problems. No, this is something that shouldn't be happening, right? And welcome. This is perfect. This is a workshop, right? Like nothing should be perfect, because when you're doing it by yourself, it's not going to be perfect. Okay. So let's just quickly I'm just gonna close all the Jupyter Notebook stuff, right? And then I'm gonna reopen it, and then we'll see that if that solves the problem. Okay. Sometimes I promise that that's all it needs. So another very important thing is when you're dealing with Jupyter Notebook, right? You always want to open it from here. Open it like from here. I find that it generally works here. Yeah, but another way you can also open files, but you know what? I'll just open it from here. Let's keep it simple. Okay, I'm just gonna quit. Yes, we can install it again. So let's install this thing again. I don't want to install it, but just open Anaconda. Right. I'll just wait for Anaconda to open. This takes a little while. I'm still on the, okay, no, I'm not there anymore. Oh, damn it. Damn it. You know why it's not, oh guys, do you know why it's not working? Oh my word, you're gonna laugh. So the reason why it doesn't work is because the video is not running. Like it went off. I see here, DroidCam, it went off. Okay, so we didn't, of course it's gonna give an error. There's no video. Okay, so because when I did this, I saw, anyway, but let's just open it again. All right, so there's no video feed, lol. Okay, so let's quickly open up our video feed here. Wait, what? I want this. Where's Anaconda? Okay, no, and the thing about Anaconda, it gives you these annoying updates. So it says, just say, yes, I don't, no, I don't, yes, I like to, I don't, no, I don't care. Go away. It's not, yeah, okay. Okay, and don't show again. Okay, no, I don't show again. But it always shows you. It's probably something in the background that I need to go change, but I'm just not annoyed enough yet. Okay, so we launch our documents. So you then just go to the root file, right? So I'm actually just gonna, so this is, yeah, it pretty much opens like that. I'm just gonna move it here, and then I'll open up the root file. I do have a lot of documents. Okay, so mechanical engineering. Yeah, guys, so for those of you studying engineering, right, it's a journey. I'm just saying, like, it's quite a journey. But you can graduate in 4 years. Quite. I was in my final year, but then yeah, final year is rough. Anyway, let's see. Let's see. What are we looking for? We're looking for the code. Okay, so there am I. Okay, and I'm really happy that I can show you guys like everything I did last year. Okay. Because I really enjoyed my project. Like I did this project every single day. It was so much fun when you see it work. You get a lot of those errors as we saw, and I'm quite happy we saw an error, right? And obviously, so let me actually just, okay, well, I'm going to run it without the frame. So if you see the, I think let's quickly see the code. So I'm going to quickly see, sorry guys. So I'm going to see that I blocked out that frame rescale. Where's the frame rescale? Where does the while loop start? While loop with ratio. There's a lot of things you define. A person detected. Let's see. Okay, wait. Okay, yeah, so I blocked this out. Okay, fine. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly open up another window, and then you're going to see how the whole thing works. Okay. Okay, so if so we plug it out our phone, and then we plug it back in. All right, plug it back in. So yeah, so if you get an error, always just check that it's working. All right, always check that the that your phone is connected with DroidCam. So actually, just open up DroidCam on your phone so that it goes smoother. You must have DroidCam open. All right, it's on your phone. I'm just going to update where those steps that I was doing, the AISS steps. Let's move that here. Installation. Okay, so step 1 is installation. Step 2. Okay, no, step 2 was open video feed in Python notebook. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, always check that that's working. So yeah, but I want to show you the code. That's the main thing. So what you do is we check we open here. Does it work? Is it an open? Yes, you can see me, and you see it works perfect, right? So this is in DroidCam, but we want to open this in Python. Because remember, the step we're looking at is we're looking at open video feed in Python. Jupyter, like that's pretty much the step. So to check that that's working, or just to show you the code and how the whole code is going to run. If I run it now, it should work. Shape. Okay, no, still not working. Maybe what the problem is, it might be that's strange because I see the video feed open. It might be my USB. Is this frame 1? This is very, very strange because the reason why it's saying that shape, it means that there's no object detected, right? There's no video feed. That's pretty much what this thing is saying, that there's no video feed. And the only way you can check for your video feed is, let's change this. See if it works. Maybe it works. Okay. Okay, there you go. There you guys can see me. You can also use your webcam. All right, so this is on my computer. All right, but generally, so your webcam, the default webcam on your computer, so like, I'm going to explain it to you and how it works and how do you open a video feed in that. But just take note, your default web video cam is 1, and then for your phone, for your webcam on your computer or your laptop is 1 or 0, and then on your phone it's 1. Okay, so I'm not sure why it's not acting while the phone camera is not working, but it should work. Like it should always work. I promise you guys. Like it's just, I think it's this USB I'm using because I bought it. Like yeah, this was some Chinese USB. So use a high quality USB. All right, but we got my webcam. So it opens another window here, as you can see. But can you see if I move? So I'll tell you when I'm going to move. So and this frame here, I added this because this was part of my project. You needed to separate the video feed into different quarters because remember I needed to move a paintball gun. So if I put up my hand now, you'll see that there's a little, put my hand up. Okay, you guys can't really tell because you need to look at me, right? But it's still running quite smooth. You can see it's running a bit smooth, right? As you see there. But did you see that it detected? Okay, so let me move back, and then you'll see that, yeah, you see it detects a person. It detects a person, right? And I'm moving. So I need to move, and then it will detect me. So if I move there, it says it detects a person. It detects a person. It detects a person, right? So it's busy finding me in the frame, right? So you can see like how this human detection works, right? I'm busy moving because I have to move for it to see me, because as I explained to you, that's how I did my algorithm, right? So it detects movements, and once it sees motion, then let's see if it finds me. But let's see if I move a book, it won't detect anything. If I put a book in front of me, right? Not gonna detect, although the book's moving, doesn't detect anything. Right? Okay. But now it detects me because I'm moving. And that's the beauty of like AI. This is AI. Like AI, it's you're putting you're putting a video feed into some data, the pre-trained data, and then that video feed is detecting a person. Okay. So you can see me, I'm moving. It's pretty cool, right? Okay. Cool, guys. So this is pretty much, let's just close this. Okay, it's closing. Yeah, just need to press escape. So now this is pretty much the data. Like this was just me plotting data, because so my project was essentially an object tracking project. So part of my computer vision project was object tracking, which essentially was tracking humans, right? And you can imagine AI, like you want to like see humans and stuff. And for the project, so Lou Allen has said to me that for your project, right, like there's an optional project after this or something like that, you're basically detecting humans and movement and stuff like this. So I was using mine was object detection. So I had to predict where the person was going to be, and that was like my project essentially. So the blue points is where the person, like this is the person's points, like real, like actual points, and then my red points was the prediction of where the person was going to be. Because if you're going to aim like with an autonomous paintball gun, or with any like if you're going to shoot someone, you need to move there needs to, because people move faster than like if the paintball gun moves and it shoots you whilst you're moving in that point, where if it detected you at that point, you're going to be past that point, right? So yeah, you need to predict where the person is going to be. So if I show you my project, just out of curiosity, because it isn't computer vision, not this. Let me close this. Close this. I'm busy helping guys with finding your modules. Yeah. So okay. So basically, what I'm saying. So this is just I think it's great that I can just go through this. Right. So this was the model, the final model. If person is stationary, person is moving. Yeah. So anyway. Okay. So if you look at ignore that. So what you needed to do is, so what I needed to do is I needed to detect where the person is at that point and where the person's going to be by the time. So the motion detector, or the human detector, which let's say object tracker detects the person at this point, right? Now I need to predict where the person's going to be by the time the paintball gun moves, and actually, because remember there's a delay, and now yeah, like this is my predicted point. So if you're moving this way, this is pretty much, and it gets more complicated, I think. So there's like a lot of other points, and then if you test it. So this is pretty much what the project looked like. A lot of computer, it doesn't look nice, I know, but yeah, it still worked. And then you see the human detection. And then you also got something known as FPS. So what FPS is, FPS is your frames per second. And what that's basically telling you is how many frames is, and it's very important, like you need to have a very, very high, the higher the FPS, the faster it's going to detect, right? So I managed to reach a 15. If it started off with like I think a 2 or 3 FPS, it was very slow. But yeah, and you can add this with OpenCV, the FPS. Yeah, and then this is just the results. But anyway, okay, so that's pretty much that. Let's get into your project or this workshop. Okay, so where were we? I just want to, where was that thing? That's fine. Okay, so I'm literally, I think it would be best if I just do it all in one place. Okay, so I just send you one file and then you got the steps listed first, and I'll add steps and so forth. So the first thing to check that open video feed in Python. So how we do that? So that's 2.1. So import CV2. All right, we import CV2. All right. So yeah, so import CV2, and then okay, so that's pretty much the first step. And then because I said to you I'm going to be explaining like standard functions with you. So let's just open a simple video feed. So there's a function called capture, right? So capture, what capture is it allows you to feed, like, yeah, so it allows you to capture the frame, and you can actually see what the you can essentially see what's coming in from the camera, right? So let's quickly do that. So okay, so that's 2.1 input, then CV and 2, right? So we import CV2. Then we go to the capture thing. So we say just quickly, 1 second, quickly, just so that I label everything perfectly. Okay, so let's just quickly see everything here. Okay, cool. So yeah, so the first thing is you wanna capture the frame. I'm just going through my code here. Cap. Yeah. Okay. So wait, just give me 1 second there. Okay. So the first thing we do is we import OpenCV, right? And then when we import OpenCV, you want to read the frame. So you need to get the first frame, right? But ultimately, what we do is, because I actually see like my code, because I want to build the most basic function for you, just to open the frame, all right? So what we do is, okay, so let's open a video frame. Video frame. All right, and to open the video frame, I just quickly want to see here. So we have CV2, and then so that's what I was looking for. Okay, so I did all of that. Okay, so to open the video frame, all right. So you create an object. So let's actually do that. So let's open a video frame. Open a video frame. Let's just run this so that 8 goes away. Let's open a video frame. So we import CV2. Import CV2. Once we do that, we say cap, right, is equal to CV2.video capture. So video capture is our standard function that we use to open a frame, right? And as I said to you, this stuff's very easy. You just do this. So what you're doing is you're creating a capture. That's all you're doing. You're just opening the window, the camera window. So this will be, so you're opening the camera window. So you can put different numbers in here, right? So I'll just write here, 0 is your default webcam, right? And then 1 is your phone camera. 1 is your phone camera. 1 is your phone, is web. Yeah, so 1 is web camera / phone camera. So it's DroidCam. DroidCam. Okay, with DroidCam. Okay, so we've done that, right? But what we need to do is so we've created a capture. Now with the capture, we need to actually create a frame, right? So you need to, so what's going on here is you open up the video feed, right? And then with the video feed, you, so let's also just write here, okay, let's just put this below here. Okay, I'll just say here. So what this thing does is this thing opens up the video feed. This opens the video feed. All right, that opens the video feed. It's a video feed, right? But it's not good enough because it just opens it, right? Remember Python, it's very, like a computer is very stupid. You need to tell it what to do. So what we do is we loop through the data. So we say while, and you just say while true. That's it. Just say while true, right? We say while true, and then we say, so this is just standard. So ret, so you have ret in frame 1, right? We have ret in frame 1. So ret, okay, so there's two different objects here, right? So you have ret and you have frame 1, right? So these two things, they give you two objects, but what we care about the most is frame 1, right? So we'll print ret, and then we're going to see what ret is about, and then we'll print frame 1, and then you'll see. So I can even do this. I just, if you curious, let's just, because you, okay, so if I say are you asking a question?
Hey, Aaron.
Yes?
How are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm good, thank you. I just want to quickly check in with the time, and I just quickly want to hear whether everybody is still fine with it. We have reached an hour and a half, but I know personally I am like drawn to this. So can you guys maybe just comment still good whether maybe if you guys can just comment still good, that's great. Yeah, it's so satisfying.
But it's good, yeah, it's a workshop. So wait, let's where was that? Where did I open up this thing? I don't even, wait, is it here? Okay, yeah, guys, so just quickly comment, how's like, are you guys still in it? Are you tired? Because I'm actually thinking now, right? Like, it actually seems like a lot. What we'll do is we will, okay, so we'll do the motion detector now, because I really want to show you the motion detection. And then after, we'll do that, and then then we'll have a part 2, and then we'll do the human detector. Okay. Okay, because of time, and I think we'll do a human detector. Okay, hey, okay, can everyone else just comment? Is everything? How's it going so far? Can I continue? Okay.
Awesome. Thanks, Aaron.
Okay, so but we're going to continue. I just want, we're going to do we're first opening a video feed, right? That's pretty much our aim here. So it opens up the video feed. So you create an object. You call it cap, right? It's quite straightforward. And then, okay, so there's two things you can do. So we have ret and we have frame, right? So we have frame 1. From my understanding, like in my project, this ret thing, the ret thing, because remember, like this is about practical application, right? And I just want to give you everything as it is. Ret, I never used ret, right? I generally use frame 1. Like what we care about is frame 1. I think what ret is, it's just like it's additional details. Like it's so frame 1 is essentially is the matrix that we get from the video feed, right? And then ret. Okay, we're gonna look at ret. We're gonna look into ret. Okay, because I'm giving you exactly what you need. Like I don't want to waste time on things that are not super important. So we're gonna open up the frame, right? So we say read, and now this is when we read our first frame, right? So we open up our first frame. So what we've done here is we've created a frame, and we need a frame, right? So then with the frame, if we go through, let me just quickly see. There's an object. Just want to quickly see. Okay, there's that. Just want to see because you need to show. You need to show the, there we go, cap.release. That's pretty much, and then CV2 just run. Okay, cool. So what we do is, right, you can create, okay, well, not in this case. So you say cap.release. So what cap.release does is it releases the frame so you can see it, right? And then like the CVT that's destroy all windows. This is just there like after, so when everything breaks, it just closes all the windows, and you'll see where that comes in. But for now, let's just use cap.release. But the main thing is to open the frame is you put your so you put your camera. So I think that this is 0. No, this is just read as far as I'm aware, and then you got video capture here. Yeah. Okay, so read. This reads this basically gets the frame data. This gets the frame data, right? So the frame array. So we can process it. So we can use Python code to analyze the video feed, because that's what we want to do. That's what it comes down to. So it gets the frame data from the camera. Or I'll say data / array. So an array is a matrix, right? To process in Python. In Python, right? So we do that, and then we run it. Okay, let's see what happens. So probably a little window will pop up. Let's see if a window pops up. Doesn't look like if I run it now. So it's basically nothing's gonna pop up because it's so quick. So what happens is it goes very fast. So like you need to because you basically see a millisecond, because Python runs very fast. So there's not even time for window to pop up. Right. So what we need to do is, so if I just run it now, what it's done is it's ran the code. So I see my web camera went on and then it went off. So maybe there's something. Okay, it's not open here. So and then let's open up this in a separate window. Let's quickly see if there's a window for it. There should be a window. Okay, that was that. I just quickly want to see, like, because there's a function. Okay, I want to open up this in separate window. Okay. Now, for now we'll just leave that. Okay, so we say cap.release. It does nothing basically, because it's only going to run it once. It looks at the frame and then it dies. So what we need to do is you want to look at the frame over and over again. So we need to create a while loop. So we say while true, right? Then we drop it in here. And we say read frame 1 cap.read. We say cap.release, right? And then this essentially goes at the end. This goes here, and this goes here. And what this does is it allows us to see the frame. See frame, right? Let me just quickly check my while loop. Give me 1 second. Just give me 1 second. So okay, so we've done that. Because I basically want to open up another window, and there's a standard function to do that. I just want to see here. Okay. Key, wait key. Okay, there's that. Wait key, elapsed time. Frame, FPS. Okay, cool. Elapsed time, all of that. Okay, so what we do now is, okay, so we have rets, we have frame 1, we have cap.read, and then if I just run it now, what happens? The camera comes on. Okay, the camera comes on, but I don't think you guys can see anything. There's no window that pops up. Usually a window would just pop up, but it doesn't appear that there's a window popping up. Right, this video feed. So usually, but it's busy running. Right, so now I have to go to kernel, restart and run all. Right, restart and run all. Because I need to stop it running, right? So to make the window appear, right, so there was some code all the way up here. Right, so to make the window appear, okay, so we have that. We have our basic code there. Okay, we do that. Okay, we have our first video feed there. Just 1 second, guys, because usually like this just happened by default, but I see it's not working for me. Yeah, not okay. Usually it would just open, right? It usually just opens. I'm just encountering all these problems. Okay, usually it will just open, and this is basically what you're going to encounter as well. So, okay, so we have that. Open up our video frame. Okay, so we got all of that. So our wait key is 1. Okay, let's just do this. So what I'm doing here is, because it just runs the whole time, and I can't escape it. I can't escape it, right? So what this is for, right, is it just allows you to, like when a button is pressed, then it's going to escape the frame. But I don't know why the frame is not appearing, but we're going to solve it. And as I mentioned, these are the issues you're going to encounter when you're doing it, like when you're building these codes. I'm just trying to look. Just give me 1 second so I can make the window appear. Okay, there's that. I don't know, like it's a bit strange. There's the colon filter. Because usually the window, I kid you not, you run the code and then the window appears. Like this is weird. But as I mentioned, it's a workshop. So let's quickly see there. So we have our capture, we create our capture. As you see here, we create our capture. All right. And then because that's actually like, this is the most basic form of a computer vision, like just opening the frame. This is the most basic form of like a computer vision code. So let's say, so this is opening the video feed. Video feed, right? Opening the video feed. All right, so we run it. It's still okay. So let's just cancel. So you see the star here, right? So the star means that this thing is running like over and over and over, but yeah, it's not opening it just means that it's running over and over. So what you do is so you go to kernel, you say restart and run all. Right, we stop it. We stop it. So yeah, so it's done. You see the star is gone. Right. So let's get the extra window to open. So so the window is not opening. I don't think it's a code thing. Like let's Google. Like, okay, the window doesn't want to open. So we say window.
Um, So we have internet problems, and Aaron's computer froze because of the computational load on it. So we are trying to fix that at the moment. He's currently doing a reboot. But yeah, so please bear with us. Yes, so I apologize for this. Let's maybe just try and give it 5 minutes to get solved. Yeah, his computer completely froze. So I'm just quickly gonna go to him. We're in the same building and we're gonna try and fix it. So I apologize for that.
Okay, guys, yeah, I'm back. My computer froze because of the while loop. So, and yeah, so what happens with the while loop is if you run the data, if you don't close the while loop, it then eats up all your RAM, and then your computer freezes. Okay. Yeah. So I had to, yeah. So apologize about that. Let's get back into it. So let me just quickly share my screen. Let's see, put it now. And we'll just, yeah. So we'll just quickly build the motion detector. Okay, but the entire screen. Share my entire screen. Okay, share. Okay. Okay, so you guys can see my screen. Okay, so we open up Jupyter Notebook. Right, so we started from scratch quickly.
Hi, sorry about that. It's back.
Okay, I'm up online. I don't know what happened there. Okay, so we'll just quickly, so let me share my screen and then we can get back into what we're doing and then we can just finish up. Okay, because I see it's quite late. The thing is, it's like I can't teach you the whole philosophy and do the whole thing like super quick. All right. I guess it does take some time, so it'd probably be best we divide it into 2 parts. Okay, so let's go. Okay, so you can all see my screen. Okay, so we open up Jupyter Notebook. So let's open up Jupyter Notebook. Let's open up Jupyter Notebook. All right. Okay. Again, so we launch it. All right. We just wait. We launch our Jupyter Notebook. All right. 1 second. Let's quickly get the code that we're working on, and then we'll make the video feed pop up. And then from there, once the video feed pops up, you're going to see how quick it is to do the motion detector. Okay, so Okay, so wait, let me just quickly get the, give me 1 second. Yeah. Okay, there we go. So we're busy here. All right, we're busy here. So we had our steps, we had all of that. And the nice thing about Jupyter is it pre-saves the code. And that's why I added this if statement. So what happened there was when I ran the code previously, it didn't, when I ran the code, it didn't stop because it was in a while loop, right? And if you're in a while loop, it's just going to run over and over again. Okay, so let's, this thing should always open up in a different frame. I'm not too sure why it's not opening in another frame. So yeah, let's see. Okay, so let's quickly move this. Okay, so yeah, so it should generally just open up in another frame. And open, it's fine. Okay, so if I run, okay, so if we run this code now, maybe it works now. No, it doesn't. So you go to kernel, make sure you restart and clear out, or else your computer's going to freeze like mine and your RAM's going to get consumed. So yeah, the star's gone. But okay, so you guys can all see me. Oh, I think I know why it's not opening, because we're obviously doing a live video feed and my camera's been occupied by another program. So that's why it's not opening. So how do I turn off my camera? Camera, representing, okay, how do I turn on my camera? Wait, let me just stop screen sharing and then it should be there for me. Okay, so turn off camera. Okay, so I think that's why it's not showing. Okay, so now let's go to, okay, so we present now, go back to my screen. Because yeah, it always pops up, the window. So that's why I was a bit confused. Okay, so I think now it should work, right? Hopefully. Let's try now. Okay, so I can see my screen, right? And then what we do is we run it now. Hopefully the thing pops up. I'm gonna pop up. Nothing. Okay, so that thing doesn't pop up. All right, let's go to kernel, restart and clear out. Right, it could be because of but previously it worked, right? So if I use the human detection the code, right? Wait, is this thing live? So always go to kernel and restart. When you got a while loop, else your computer's gonna freeze. All right, is it done? Yeah, it's done, but yeah, so it's closed. Okay. Okay, so let's just escape. Okay, let's say kernel, restart and run all. So the reason why it's doing this is you need to, okay, so you press escape, it would work. Okay, so escape. So escape, yeah, so I press escape and that's why, but I'll explain to you what's going on there. So when I run this, right, what's basically going on, if I run this, yeah, you should get a window that pops up like this, right? You can see me, everything is working, right? That's essentially what we want. And if I press escape, then the window closes. So that's basically what we want to do. We want to get the video frame, right? So, and it's literally this code, like this is pretty much the video frame code to open up a video frame. So this is to open up a video frame. Open up a video frame. Video frame with my code. So I'm just trying to see here, because it always opens. It just always opens because, okay, at the end here, it's possible that there's a function that's opening the separate window, but I don't think so. Let's quickly see. So with all the code, okay, so we've got that. Let's see, create window. Let's just window. I think I had a function here. Window, no. Because you want to open up the frame. Okay, I guess we're gonna have to Google it. How to open up frame in, as I said to you, it should be default. How to open up separate frame in OpenCV. How to open up separate frame in OpenCV, right? Because we need that. And that's, as I mentioned, should be default. How frame video capture, okay. So how to open up separate frame in OpenCV, separate, how to open separate video, let's just say separate window. I promise you guys, like, it's literally, it should be default. Code here we see here, and I know there's a lot of stuff going on in the human detection code, but that frame opened up by it's default. This code here, that frame, it works perfect here. Right, if I run it here, it works perfect. Right. But if I run it in the code that we've done, the thing doesn't work. Right, so let's quickly open up the video frame, because yeah, it should be default. Read one. Okay, let's try this. It could be this. Maybe this is the problem. Nope, still doesn't work. Kernel restarts and run all. All right, let's try this. Maybe this works. Make the frame work, because I can see my camera. My camera is live, but the frame is this frame is not opening. Right. So now let's close the frame. Let's kernel restart and run all. Okay. I don't know why it's not opening in another frame, because it's, as I mentioned to you, all of this is default. Okay, so if we look at very long code, it's default. Might be this. Let's see if I think it's this. Let's see this. This is frame show, image show, FPS frame 1. Let's see. I think that's the problem. Let's see this. So I think that's pretty much what I left out there. All right, let's kernel restart or should work now. Okay, it's closed. Let's run it now. Hey, it opened up the frame. Yeah, you needed to show the window. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. So we got it. Okay, so everyone can see me. All right. Okay, so what I've done here. So you need to press escape to close the window. Okay, my escape's not working. Okay, now it's gone. Okay, but the window's still kind of open. So if you see my window, all right, the window's still open. So what you need to do is, because if we leave out this code, so ultimately what we need to run any frame, to check that any frame is working, all right, you need this. So you need, so this is essentially the code. This is what runs the code, right? So this is basically, this is how you run your frame. This is how you see what's going on in the frame. So you have cv2.show, and then you have your capture.read. And what's going on here is, okay, so we import CV, we capture it, like we open the video feed from the camera, then you put it in the while loop so that it can run over and over, so that we can get the video feed, and that's we read the video feed, and then we use this, and then we can name it. So we can say, we can label this, we can call it the AISS frame. Right, so we can call this AISS frame. Okay, but if I just run it like this, it means like it's just going to run over and over, and you're going to have to restart the kernel, right? But what if you just want to click a button? So that's why. That. Yeah. So yeah, what if you just want to click a button? Right. So okay. So generally, with our code, so we have key equals to. Let's move this here. So we have key equals to CV, right? So what key essentially tells us is it tells us what key is being pressed, and then we say wait key 1. So this is just a standard function, wait key 1. So it just says, okay, this is what's been pressed. But if I look at the code, it should be CV2. Yeah, it should be CV2. So it's CV2.waitKey, right? And then we basically say when we like press a specific button, we want the frame to end, right? So I think right at the bottom here. So we want the specific frame to end. So we say if key is equal to 27, which means escape. This is your escape key. 27 represents the escape key numerically. It's the escape key, right? And then finally, we say break. So we break the loop, right? When you press that. And then what this is it releases the frame from. So we don't have to, the frame's gone. So it closes the frame. So it ends the code when you run it. So this opens the frame, right? And this, I would actually say rather, instead of seeing the frame, this allows us to close the frame. This closes the frame. Okay. This closes the frame. And then finally, we can destroy, like, so once the frame is closed, because if you see this frame, it's still open, right? Like, and you can see me there. We want the frame to close. So then we say destroy all windows, CV2, and that's pretty much the process there. Okay, not break with the, so that's pretty much our code. If you run it now, run the code now, you'll probably, let's close this frame here. You'll see me. Hey guys. All right. Okay, so you can all see me, right? If I press exit, you see it doesn't close because you need to click escape on your keyboard. It's just how we've coded it. It's just it's like a standard, like with OpenCV. This is pretty much a standard. Okay, so we've done the first part. We opened the frame. Now, okay, so I'm just going to leave that code for you so you can open the frame. Now let's quickly just do the motion detector, and then we are good to go. Okay, so motion detector quickly, and then yeah, we can add all our bounding boxes and stuff like that. So what we do is we've already imported CV2, but yeah, we can just open this. We can just copy this, open the video frame, and we'll do it in a separate window, right? So what we want to do is we want to create motion detect. We want motion detection, and motion detection. What that essentially is when there's a change in the frame. So in the video, so you have one image, and if there's a change in the image, then if there's a change in the frame, even like, yeah, so if there's any change, then there's motion. Wherever the change is, that's where there's motion, because something came into the frame, right? So yeah, let me just say here, this destroys the open window. Okay, so then, yeah, so let's quickly just do the motion detection. So what we need to do is, so we've created frame 1, right? So we have frame 1. We need to create we need to create a second frame. So you create one frame, then you create another frame. And then all you do is you subtract the frames, and then wherever the change is, you just plot that, or you just put that in the frame. That's ultimately what we do. So, okay, so let's quickly do that. So what we do now is we create a second frame, right? So we create a second frame 2, and we create cap. So we read. So we're creating a second frame. So this makes a frame, right? It opens frame 1, and then what cap does is it opens another window. So it opens another frame. So if we say cap CV2, this opens the camera. This creates a frame because you need a frame. You need what do you want to what do you want to analyze? You want to analyze the frame, right? So we have the first frame, and then you have the second frame. Then okay, so we got that, right? Now so we got that, and then we need to create the actual motion detector, right? So okay, cool. So to do that, so to create the motion detector, right? If you go through, like, so if you look at the human detection code, so if you look at this human detection code, I create a function, and the process here is very, very long, right? Like there's quite a process. So yeah. Okay, so there's quite a process. Like there's all these different things here, right? But what I've done is my code optimizes for it. But we want to build a very basic motion detector. So we got frame 1, we got frame 2, right? So then what we want to do is we want to subtract the 2 frames from one another, right? But before we can subtract them, we want to identify, because there might be a very small change in the frames. And if there's only a very small change, it's going to be difficult for OpenCV to subtract them. So what we do is we need to filter out the image. So we need to make it grayscale, because you remember, like, so what's going on is, so OpenCV, so if I say, you can see what this object looks like. So if I say, let's create a feed here, I can even create one above here. And okay, so this, okay, so we create a video capture. If I create a frame, so if we create a frame, move the frame here. If I create a frame, I say print frame 1, let's see what we get. So we'll probably get a matrix. Let's see. Okay, it's running. Okay, so the video camera is open, but this is, you see it's like a bunch of zeros, and it's basically a very long matrix, right? So yeah, let's just quickly, let's stop this. So I think it's basically just like ones and zeros. If you, here's the zeros, but frame 1, it's essentially just a matrix. Okay, so let's restart and clear out this, because we want to end it. All right. So yeah, so we want to subtract the 2, but before we do that, we need to grayscale everything. So before we before we do any form of like subtracting or anything, we need to get pictures in black and white. We need black and white pictures, black and white images, right? So so what we do is we black and white images, and to create that we create gray image 1. You can call it whatever you want. Create gray image 1. Then we have cv2 dot so there's a standard function called cvt color, and what cvt color does is it changes the frame color. So that's why you're going to see now. So we say cvt color changes the frame color. We put in frame 1 because so we feed in frame 1 and then we get our gray image. So yeah, so we get frame 1, then we get our gray image, and then we get cv2 dot so you need to define the color you want it, right? We said gray image, but CV color needs to know, okay, what color must I make it? So to do that, there's a standard function color, and these are just kind of things you can Google them. There's also, like, you can just say like on Google how to make an image gray, right? And then you'll see that OpenCV will bring a library. So if we say how to make image gray, OpenCV, right? Because I want you guys to do things on your own to grayscale, and then there's probably a code for it, right? So it gives you all these things, and you see this is just a standard function. So yeah, right. So we have color. Yeah, so we have color BGR2 gray, right? So it's all capital letters, and then we copy this, and then we do because we need to also create the second gray image, right? We need to create the second gray image, and then yeah, so we've got the second gray image. So gray image 2, we have that. We put frame 2 because it's the second frame, right? So we created a different image here. So what happens here, this opens up a frame, and this opens up one like 1 second later. There's a time difference between them, and then because they're different, it means you're going to get 2 different video frames, which we can subtract. Okay, so we do that. So we have gray image 1, gray image 2. When we do that, right? So okay, so we've got the gray image. Now what we need to do is we need to subtract the images, and then we need to identify the differences, and then we need to draw bounding boxes around those differences. Okay, so what we do is we say, okay, so let's quickly subtract the images from one another, because that's what essentially a motion detector is. So diff image is equal to CV2 dot so this is another standard function, absolute diff, right? It's just a standard function, and then you can subtract 2 images, and that's pretty much how easy OpenCV is. So gray image 1 and then gray image 2. Right? So we get our difference image. Right? But what we need to do is this is still not good enough, because the image you're going to get, it's going to, like, okay, so if you look here, like if you go to, okay, let's see if I can get the reports, so I can give you guys like an example of, let's see, where's those images, so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so if we, okay, no, leave that, okay. Okay, so motion detection. Okay, yeah, so this is basically what we want to do. So we got an image like this. This is what it looks like, right? So this is this would be the difference image if now, this is the difference image you see CIA. So this will be our difference image, but then we want to be able to identify all the areas where there's change. So we want to get the areas, and to get the areas, you need to amplify, because this is very small. And OpenCV, especially Python, it's going to be difficult for it to detect it. So we need to amplify it so that we can, we can detect where the motion is. Okay, so then what we do now is we amplify the difference image, right? And to amplify the difference, so we get this red thing, right? We get this red thing, and then we get threshold image, right? And the threshold image is going to be CV2 dot threshold, and so the standard function, so we get the threshold because we want to amplify it. So what threshold does is it amplifies it. So you'll see here, right? There's a sensitivity V. So basically, how much we want to increase basically the amplification, right? And you'll see that that's there. We've already defined it. So what we can actually do is we can define that. We can define our sensitivity. You can even just call it sensitivity. I'm just going to call it, you can even just call it sensitivity. Sensitivity, right? And then that's going to be 30. Right, so that's an object we define as that, and then in our function we add the difference image first. Add your difference image. Call that image, right? And then we have our sensitivity here. Add that thing there, and then we have a so this is pretty much default. So this thing here, right, it's also like a sensitivity factor. But like if you look at let me just show you here. Like I think the best images are the best thing, right? So as I said, is we want to amplify the we want to amplify the difference image, right, in the frame. And to amplify the difference image, there's 2 components, because if you look here, right, we want to convert this into a pure binary image. So we want to amplify the difference and then convert it into a pure binary image, right? So, and what I mean by binary is black and white. Okay, so if let's quickly go back to the code, and then it can be done now. So this sensitivity and this, but this is just default. You can just leave the 255, and if you forget, right, if you go to, you can just type this in, say, cv2.python, and then thresholding color images. I know there was some good, so OpenCV would generally, you see guys, this thing is bad. This, let's go on Google. Let's do this thing here. Okay, image thresholding. So yeah, so there's different things you can look at, right? And then you can do this. OpenCV generally has like there was a place where they explain it all to you. Python OpenCV, right? Where is the website? Has the website gone down? Image search, thresholding, CV2. Okay, let's move this. Generally, it would always, okay, yeah, here, image thresholding, yeah. So OpenCV.org, the first one. And then you'll see here, there's different things here. There's like a lot of different ways on how it works, but they explain to you what's going on in the threshold. And if you see this 255, it's just like a default value that you add to the threshold, right? But then you see the different ways. Yeah, so there's different things you can do to your threshold, but for now we're keeping it simple, right? We're just keeping it very simple, right? So wait, where are we? Okay, wait. Where are we? We're almost done, guys. I know it's been a long session, but thanks for staying in, and I hope you've learned some stuff. All right. So, okay, so you've got the gray image, and then you got your difference image between the two. So your difference image, CV2. Now we want to get the threshold image, so we want to amplify it. And to amplify it, we add that. And then there's, there's another one. We just say CV2 dot thresh binary, right? Thresh binary, and what that it just turns the image into black and white. So what this thing does is it turns it black and white. This makes the image black and white, so it's easier to detect where there's motion. So it makes image black and white, right? Okay, we got that, and then okay, so that, and then what we so we've done that, and then what we need to do is we need to further amplify it. Like generally first time, because can you remember, like I'm just giving you the general methods that are practiced if you want to do a motion detector. So this threshold image, we need to amplify it again. So it's amplified again. What you do is you create a blur image, and a blur image makes it easier to because we want to make sure we detect the motion. So we create a blur image, and a blur image is it's an image that it's an amplified image. So it's just you amplify, you basically increase. So this, let me just quickly show you in the reports here. So this over here was the blur image, right? Or not the blur image, but the amplified blur image. So you needed to put this threshold through like you basically need to do it twice. And the reason why I do that is so we can get an even better analysis. Okay, so we have our blur image, and our blur image is CV2 dot blur, right? CV2.blur. We know the threshold image, threshold image, all right? Because we're gonna add this threshold image into blur, all right? And what blur does is, as I mentioned, it literally just blurs everything. All right, so blur size, let's just quickly see. So what you can do is you can create a size here. The default is like recommended is just 20. Blur size is 20. All right, that's pretty much the recommended. And then what we do is we add our blur size. So our blur size consists of, because we want to blur it in the X and Y direction, so that's why we put 2 coordinates. So the blur size, right? And then we got the other blur size, and then yeah, we do that. So 0, it's just as I mentioned, just a default value. If you do want to go and see what blur does and what its inputs are, you can type it in, right? But let's not do that. Let's do this. Blur, it should come up. Python, I mean, they can even tell you here, you can just go to one of them, and then you can literally see everything regarding blur. So blur, there's a lot of, so essentially it just blurs the image out so that you can increase the, like for in our case, the difference, the threshold difference. So let's okay, where are we? We are here. Okay, guys, we are we're almost there. Okay, wait, where were we here? This thing is here. So we got a blur image. All right, so we increase, so we further amplify it. And then what we do is we then, we just copy this function again, right? We copy this because we need to get the threshold image again. Get the threshold image again. And then our threshold, and then you put the blur image in there. Once you put the blur image inside there, right? And then yeah, we pretty much finished, right? So we got our yeah. So we have our what's this? Yeah, like our regions of like yeah. So essentially we have an image that we can now find the areas of motion. Right, so then what you need to do is you actually need to find the areas, like the places in the frame where there's a difference, right? Like, so essentially in OpenCV or in computer vision, where is, give me 1 second. Where's that report of mine? So these are known as contours, right? This is a contour. So a contour is it's a region. It's a region that's different, that is irregular in the frame. Right, so we need to find the contours. All right, so let's quickly do that. And then once we found the contours, yeah, we are sorted there. So then, okay, so then so we need to find the contours. So we have red. We have contours, which is what we want. So that's an array. It's basically all the regions where it's different. And then you have this thing called hierarchy, right? And it's also just another default parameter. The only thing that matters to us is we care about hierarchy and stuff is more advanced, and so is red, right? We only care about contours. So contours, let's see, hierarchy. We can just hierarchy. Right, hierarchy is equal to CV2 dot, so what we want to do is we want to find the contours. So there's a function called find contours, right? And then to find the contours, we then add the threshold image, let me just copy this, and our threshold image, so we can find our contours. And then there's this, so like with this function, there's default value. So this is just to find the contours. You just basically just need to know these libraries, and because you're essentially calling in a library, it's retr external, right? And then we put in the other one. So as like remember, you can find all of these. Like you can. So if you want to find the contours, you can literally just say cv2.find. Oh wait, not here. We can just copy it. You can just copy this function into Google, and then you can see everything about is find contours if you forget, or you want to find the contours. Yeah. So yeah, you can just go to these. Like generally, this is a great website, OpenCV, then explains what it does and all of that, right? But in a nutshell, yeah. So this is just default. So how I learned this stuff last year and where I got it from, I did like a lot of research because I was like, okay, I want to build a motion detector. So there was like a lot of different codes online, and this was doing that and this, and then I just broke it down and I just made it simple as this, as like what's essential and what's not essential. So we got a prox simple. So yeah, so these are just things you add, right? And then yeah, so we have contours. Okay, so then what we're going to do is we're going to get an array, and then we want to detect motion. And there's only motion if so there's going to be motion. So remember, the goal is we want to detect motion. There's going to be motion, so motion detected if length basically, if your length of your contours is above 0, it means that there's motion. And contours is above 0, right? There's yeah, there's motion. So actually, as you can, yeah, there's motion, right? And then what we need to do is, because so each contour has a center point, like, because we want to draw. So the thing what we ultimately want is we want the bounding box. So we want look here, we want the bounding box, as you see what I have here, right? Like of all the motion detected, right? So you want to draw bounding boxes around that. So okay, so we have so if motion detected, right? And then so what we need to do is there's like this stuff all has area. It's better to use. Let me quickly show you. So all of this has an area, right? Like each frame has a, like wherever there's movement, there's area, right? There's this bounding box has area, this bounding box has area, all of it has area. So we use the area of motion to check if it's significant. So we say, okay, I is equal to CV2 dot, and there's a standard function moment. So what moments does is it allows you to get the moment of inertia, and then with the moment of inertia, you can find the area of the contours. It's just a mathematical, such just a standard mathematical function, right? Like just if you want to find the area, you need to find the inertia. This is like the image inertia, right? Like it's this like, I know we come from mechanical. Those come from mechanical. I know probably thinking, wait, isn't inertia the like the resistance to mass movement, or the resistance to movement? But like there's also a term of inertia in OpenCV. So we do that, and then what we do now is, because this is essentially like the center of like the center of the contour. That's basically what we're looking for. So this generates the center of the contour, right? The contour, and then finally we get the area, right? So we got the area, and then to get the area, the reason why we want the area is because you want to know how much movement is there. Then we say I do this, then want to find our area, right? And then yeah, we have that. So motion's detected, we have our area, right? And then okay, so we got our area. Okay, so now we now want to add the bounding boxes. So the area basically says this is how much area, this is how much movement there is, right? So yeah, so as I mentioned, we want to draw the bounding box for motion detection, right? And to draw the bounding box, yeah, we need to use rectangles, right? So I'm just strictly checking here, motion detection. Okay, so if you want to add the, let's really see here. So if you want to add the bounding boxes, because at this point, it's still not quite complete, right? Like because if I run it now, let's see what happens if I run it now. So if I run it now, okay, no, it's not detected. Okay, let's import CV2, run it. Okay, let's come up. Sure. So if I run it, let's run the frame. I still got the module CV2, CV2.CV2. Wait, where's that? Image frame CV2 color. And again, PC. Okay, so we get an error there. Okay, so motion detection. So CV2. Okay, so it gives an error, and that's a bit strange. So CV2 dot. Let me see what I said here. It's CVT. Oh, of course. God, everything is American, and I forget. So this is color, right? This is color. right? And we'll still get frame 1 because we still just showing frame 1 here, right? But if we can show the threshold image, so you can see the threshold image, right? So we run it, name throwback. Wait, let's see throwback. Wait, what was throwback? Throwback. Let's see moments. What was throwback? Oh no, it's not throwback. Threshold image. Sorry, I don't know what I was doing. Threshold image. Okay, we run it. Still, you see, this is basically what happens. You just get a lot of errors. Name threshold in line is that? It's line 41. So threshold image. Let's see, threshold image. It's going to give an error here because not defined. Work now, yeah. Okay, so if we look here, you see if I move, we get the threshold image, right? Like I'm moving, you can see if I don't move, black, move, yeah. Okay, so let's just escape. Now what we want to do is we want to add our bounding box, right? So F1, right? And then, okay, so once you just add our bounding box, our bounding boxes, right? So we get the contours, and then let's quickly see. So if the area, yeah, we wanna add our bounding boxes, right? So if we wanna add our bounding boxes, we have our threshold image, and then to get the bounding boxes, right? We essentially need to loop. So you need to get the contours, and you just need to loop through the contours, right? So just give me 1 second. Let's quickly see here. So yeah, so we wanna loop through the contours, right? Just give me one second, guys. I just want to just give me 1 second, and then once we got that, we are pretty much done because we basically want to get these in the frame, and then we are good to go. Okay, so just give me one second. Just sorting something out. Right. 1 second. Okay. So yeah. Okay. So we got that. Okay, but so far, like what I've done with regards to the threshold image and the one that if I run this in okay, now you see me because go away because I put frame 1 here because it's going to show whatever frame. If you put threshold image, it's going to show your threshold image. All right. So wait, just give me 1 second. 1 second, but yeah, I hope all of this is making sense to you guys. It just might look a bit weird with all these functions. The first time I saw these functions, it was a bit strange. But as I mentioned, on OpenCV's website, there is courses on this that you can actually get used to. They'll tell you about all these functions that there are. Right, and the only reason why I added this is because you don't actually have to add this. I added it just because of we can actually get rid of this. I just added it because we want to determine if the sufficient area, right? It's not necessarily needed, but yeah. So just give me 1 second. Okay. 1 second, and then we will be finished. But yeah, you can just look over the code. Just look at it so that it all makes sense. Okay. So yeah, so just give me 1 second. And then yeah, it was quite a long session, guys. Like yeah, it's very long. So we're in 2. Okay, so I'm just doing just moving this here, and then I'll let you guys know what's happening because we want to get the bounding boxes, right? So, okay, so let's see. So you want the bounding boxes, right? So to get the bounding boxes, we have to loop through generally you have to loop through the contours. That's the most important thing. Let's see if area there. Okay, bounding rectangle, contour lines, okay. I just want to see here, so if the area is there. Okay, so yeah, let's quickly just do this. Okay, so yeah, so we want to get the area, right? So then we say if area, I'm just going to use it if area is above a specific value, say area is above 1,000. So what that basically means is like you're just specifying a range. Like generally you just make it 1,000, right? So then what we need to do is you need to so we want to draw the rectangles around the contour lines, right? And then to get the rectangles around the contour lines, what we need to do is we need to, if you look at the image, so what contours does, let me just move this back and forth, and then we are done. So to get to get these boxes around the contour lines, you basically just get one contour line, you find the center point of it. From the center point, once you know the center point, you then just you get the eye, so essentially in your frame, right? So in this frame, you have coordinates, right? You have X and Y coordinates and pixel coordinates in your frame. And what we do is to draw it, because we need to draw a bounding box in a specific region in the frame. To draw it around there, because you can see drawing a rectangle, you need to get the center of the rectangle for that contour line. Right? Since you get the center, once you know the center, then you just literally, it's very easy to, once you know the center coordinates, then it's literally, it's just, it's essentially just, once you know the center coordinate, then you just use the area, and then from the area you can get the dimensions of the box. Okay, so what we do is, let's just finish up, and then we can so we want to get the bounding box. So we should be, this was a very long workshop. I didn't anticipate it to be this long, but it is. Okay, yeah, so this is the C++ code that I used last year to do for the motion detection, as you see here, right? And you can see C++ is a lot more hectic, so rather just stay away from C++. Okay, so we have area, and then what we need to do is we want to get the area around around the contours. So what you're gonna do is you need to create a for loop, right? So you create a for loop, and then each contour has a position in the array. So we say you can use I. So we say I is equal to 0, right? I is equal to 0, and then say I below equals to contours. What I'd rather be is, let's quickly see here. So contours. So what we can quickly do is we'll say contours. So we look at contours. So we go to contours and we just look at the function. So we get an array for contours. Contours. Right. Contours. Right. Contours. Right. OpenCV. Then so contours. So you can know now everything about how to use contours here, so that you can read through it and what you can do with contours. All right, because as I mentioned, I'm giving you all the important functions that you can use. So so if we look here, we have contours defined here, right? And this is a matrix. So we're going to say contours, and then we use, let's copy this thing, contours. Contours. dot shape. Right, so we get the shape, like basically how many how many rows and columns there are. Contours, I think that'd probably be best is just to, anything we can do that. We can rather just say length contours. Length contours. Right. So we have length contours. And then what we do is, okay, so we've got our length of our contours. And then, yeah, we're gonna put our bounding box around all of that. So, okay, so we have I equals to 1. Oh, you see, I'm busy coding here. It's doing Python. So for I in range, I'm so used to other coding. So for I in range, length of contours, and then so we have that, and then so we want to create the bounding box. So I want to see everything there. Just give me 1 second. Anyway, it's fine. So what we can rather do is, it's fine, or rather just create a bounding box around, I'm going to create a bounding box around each one. So bound rectangle, damn it, I'm looking at other code. Anyway, so, okay, so we want to draw the bounding box around each contour, right? And to get the bounding box around each contour, we, just give me 1 second. Bounding box, please see here. So we got all of this. We want to get the bounding box around all of that. Line range, length of contours. Right. So we want to get each contour, and then around each contour we want to draw a bounding box. We need to get the dimensions of that specific contour. Right, and to get the dimensions of the contour, we need to use we need to find the length of the contour. Let's quickly see here. So finding length of contour. So finding contour, finding length of contour. Let's say dimensions. Finding dimensions. I'd say length. I think I'll get a length of contours. Bounding OpenCV. OpenCV in Python, right? That's basically what we want in Python. So we want to create bounding boxes and circles for contours. So we go here, right? So we want the Python code. We don't want the C++ code, right? And this is basically what you're going to be doing. So we did this. Right, so this is essentially so you get your, let's quickly see here what they've done. So you see here, they got the contours, right? They got the contours. In contours, standard function poly, boundary react. I guess, let's see, none. Okay, we don't need to draw circles around contours. We just want to draw a boundary rectangle, and that's going to equal to this none object. So there's basically nothing inside there, multiplied by the length of the contours. So then that value is just going to go in there. So then we say for I, C in enumerate. Okay, drawing. Then you get out in. Okay, that's that. We get that, and then color drawing because we get the image, the drawing, the rectangle. So like you basically what you need to do is, right, like with this stuff, so what you do is you just copy, okay, so because remember, like this is just an introduction, right? So we want to make it very simple because we see now we have our contours, right? So then we just copy this, let's copy this code here, right? We move the code, right? We move the code to this, yeah, so we can literally just paste so we get the code. Because I want to show you like how you can do this, right? Like that's pretty much the idea. Because we've got our contours, then we have this, and then let's see if this works. We paste the, so we get the code, and then I'll explain to you what's happening here. It's just because of time. Yeah, because this stuff you kind of like you have to logic it out to build it, right? But if you see here, I don't think we really care about centers as much. Contours poly, so this is just a standard function for OpenCV for your contours. Yeah, and then okay, enumerate contours. Okay, let's see if all of this works. So contours, let's see any output. We want to get we don't want to draw. We don't really care about this circle thing here. We just want bounding boxes, right? Contours. Then we get a drawing. This is just some standard function because it's basically what it is. Like all this stuff, you can't remember it. Like you can't remember this. I mean, if with practice, if like you build a lot of the stuff, you will. But generally, you just go online and you get the code, right? And I literally just did that. And then you say for iron range length of this. Okay, we have color. We have this. You get rid of the circle. You don't need the circle because you want to draw. We just want the rectangles, right? That's all we want. We just want the bounding boxes. So we get rid of, so this is drawing the contours on the image. We don't want that, right? So cv.rectangle drawing is that. Okay, so okay, so we look here. So we got uncanny shape 1, uncanny shape 2. I just quickly want to see this. Okay, so we got our contours, all right? Then what we do is we create the bounding rectangle for our contours. Right? This is what we do there, or the array for it. Then we loop through it. So we'll enumerate colors or clear contours. We get that. We get our bounding rectangles. That loops through everything. It adds each bounding rectangle dimension. Then the drawing, let's see, what do we get with the drawing? I just want to see like where did they put the bounding rectangle? I think drawing, so what drawing is it's just it's just how you want it drawn. Right, like it's essentially how you want it drawn. But then we need to get frame 1. So essentially what we need to do is we need to add this drawing to frame 1. And then we are sorted like with the rectangles. Let's just quickly add the frame quickly. Give me 1 second. Right, just give me 1 second, and then you guys can see how we do this. Okay, so we wanna add. So ultimately, what we want to do is we want to add. So we've drawn some rectangles, right? There's drawing here. Just what's that? That's rectangle, right? Rectangle. Rectangle. Okay, that's that. Okay. So I think what we can do is we can probably delete this, and then we can put our rectangle here, or we can put frame 1 here, and then hopefully all of this should work. Right, so we don't need that thing. Let's run it. Move. Nope. CV is not. Oh, so they used a escape here. Kernel restart run all. Kernel restart and clear out. Yeah, so they use CV. We just need to make the CV2. So CV2, CV2. Anywhere where there's a standard function called from OpenCV, we then just change it. Okay, OpenCV. Because I think if I coded this from scratch for you guys, I'd be like, wait, how do I even remember that? What do I do? So at least I showed you can go online and you can get some code. Run it. Let's see if it works. Still, RNG is not defined, so we need to sort out all these errors. RNG is not defined. What is RNG? RNG is not defined. RNG, what? Okay, they're saying orange is not defined. So this is this color thing here, rand int. How's RNG? Is it rand int is supposed to be NP or something? Color. You know what? You know what? Because they're just putting random values here. You know what? We can change the color. So let's make it. Let's get the bounding box colors. So color. Just give me 1 second. So color. Color. No, wait. Okay. Anyway, so okay. So basically, to get the color, right? To get the color, we we see this thing rectangle because it's this, and then int bound. Because generally, you just add the color, right? You would just say rectangle. You would say okay, this color, and then we can change this. So we can actually we can create a random color. So we can say let's call this 0. So if you look here, what he's done here is he's just calling a random color. So you can put any value between 0, 2, 5, 6. So you need to get the color code for, say you want red. So you want red, okay, not who. We want red color code, OpenCV, red color code, OpenCV, red color code, OpenCV. Let's see, red color code. Let's see what we got here. Color detection. Nope, we don't want color detection. We want red color, RPG. RGB color. How to change to red? Yeah. So you go to Stack Overflow. Right, they give you a lot of different things. So if you want to get the red color, right, you just need to define it. So so there's different colors here. So okay, that's that lower bound. Okay, so essentially your colors, right? Like if you want red, it's 0255. So that's pretty much red. And then okay, let's just quickly finish up and then run the code, and then everything should work. Okay, so okay, where is the code? Where's our Python code? Okay, so this is just the color that we're defining here. Right, all this other stuff, this is just like it's basically stuff OpenCV needs to process the contours. And then okay, we got that. I got the color. Let's run now. Let's see if everything works now. See, I move. There we go. Can you see, guys? So with a lot of so there's Llewellyn, as you guys can see, and move. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I probably made it look really hectic. All right, and I apologize if I do, but yeah, the main thing is to get the boxes. You have to go online and get the code, because remember this is just the like introductory level. Like also you can go do the whole computer vision course and really understand it on OpenCV's website. But yeah, guys, so you see we're moving. Don't move. Move. Yeah. Okay, that was a mission. That was quite a, but yeah, but it works. Okay, so now you got a motion detector. Yeah.
Yes, that's cool.
Yeah, so this stuff's pretty cool. It's probably a bit of a mission. I feel like with this workshop, we could have summarized it better, but as long as you get the idea. The main thing was installation and then building the motion detector. Like, it was a mission. But we got it. Okay. Like, I know it was long, and I apologize. Still think this is cool. Yeah. Okay, so
Okay.
let's go back there. Yeah.
I just also want to say something.
That was long. That was so long. Damn.
Yeah, but it was cool. It was really fascinating. So the entire point of the workshop was to kind of to get introduced to computer vision and how it actually works. So we do have the hackathon that is taking place, and we have a 2,500 Rand prize for the winner. I'm sure that you guys that attended will obviously have a benefit over anybody else. And also just remember, like it's the idea that counts, the most of it, and the the actual coding is definitely part of it, but everybody is on the same level. So the entire point of the hackathon is to make it fun, to make it engaging, and to introduce people to the software. So by doing so, we came up with a challenge to we came up with a challenge to introduce computer vision to the education. How will computer vision assist education? And the best idea and the person who could code it the best, 2,500 Rand for you. So yes, we do have sign-up forms for the hackathon. It is on the group. And yeah, do you guys have any questions with regards to the hackathon, with regard to the workshop?
This was long, guys. I'm really tired because you must understand I had a very long day, guys, before this this workshop. Like, yo, it was a very long day.
Yeah, we only planned for an hour and a half, but you guys obviously know how it goes with coding. So, is there any questions?
Like, it was 3 hours and we only built the motion detector, but we got the thing working, right? So yeah, so just a recap on everything that we looked at, right? So we looked at installing, I think that was probably the biggest part, right? Just installing OpenCV and Jupyter and all of that, creating a video capture. That's very important, opening your capture for your video feed. Then you need to put it in a while loop. The reason being is because you need to run, the frame needs to read over and over again. So this was just opening a simple frame, right? And then adding this is to exit the window. And then this thing closes the frame. Yeah, and then this thing closes the windows. So this is standard. This is the first function, the first code that you need to know. Then on a second part, okay, this was just showing you how frame worked. It'll probably pop up again. Anyway, but ultimately what we did is we took now the code and then we just put it through a filter process. We found frame 1, we found image frame 2, we found the difference, and then we just use the standard OpenCV functions. And we got the contours. We use the contours to check if there's motion. So if there's any contours detected, there's motion. We use, so this eye thing, I don't even think, okay, so the eye thing is used because we want to get the area significant. So if we don't have this, it's just an add-on. It's just to say if there is significant motion, then detected, and then we add, this is just I literally just copied this code from the internet, right? To speed things up there. And then the bounding boxes. But what's going on here with this code? Okay, so you have so you have the length of your contours. You have okay. Well, I'm not going to get into the whole philosophy of it, but basically you looping through what this code is doing here is it's looping through these contours. Wait, give me 1 second. Wait, so where was 1 second? So it's looping through these contours, right? It's storing each contour. So this contour has pixel points, like in the array. This thing has pixel points. This thing has pixel, like it's essentially coordinates, right? And then all you do is like with the pixels, you just you use that, like each one is a contour, and that's why if you'll see there's a contour, that's a contour, that's a contour, that's a contour, and so that's basically what the code is doing. But yeah, guys. So in that nutshell, you see it like the thing is this was like a live workshop. So you saw me using because I think like if I just did it off the bat, if I just did a workshop for you like straight and I did everything and I made it look easy, you'll be like, oh, this stuff is easy, I can do this, right? But it is easy. You just go on Google and then you Google it, and that's what we did, right? And yeah, so this was quite an interactive workshop, and now we got our final code, motion detection. Okay.
Sure. Does anybody have anything to say? Okay. Thank you very much, guys, for attending. Please remember to just fill in the attendance form. And then we will be posting this on YouTube after editing it a bit.
That was very long.
Yeah.
I apologize for that. But I'm gonna for the second workshop, because I'll be honest, I haven't really had so much time to prepare for this. I know it's been up, but I haven't really had a lot of time because my schedule is very, very busy. But for the next one with the human detection, I'll make sure that it all falls within 3 hours and all of that. And then we'll edit the YouTube video and it'll be much shorter.
Yeah.
Okay. But the point is that you just understand, you just see the process. And yeah, thanks for attending, guys.
Okay, awesome. We're gonna call it a day. Remember to join the hackathon.
Yes, guys. Join the AISS hackathon and computer vision.
Thanks, guys.
And wait, before you end, look at the OpenCV website if you're keen to continue OpenCV skills. If my screen's still being shared, just go to the OpenCV website, get the courses, and you're good to go.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Have a good day or night, and keep well. Keep well.